places on there after the shape.
A lot of people
have.
Yeah, 27 you freaking
A little better prepared. I had to
marinas.
work this morning.
We both have
hook knife around here.
Jason getting in trouble over here.
Nice knife, man.
We were both already got. Yeah,
We have this it's a two-part adhesive tape, and what you do, you place it on your shoe, and all this tape's going to do is really hold it in place until you get it glued. I know we've had people ask, "Oh, will that hold the shoe on?" No, man, it will not. If that'd be awesome, and as soon as I figure out how to do that, I'll let you know.
What's that tape for now?
It's to hold it in place until you get your clicks knocked down and get it glued on.
To hold what in place?
The shoe.
Oh, on the foot, okay.
Come on, Ron, pay attention.
We leave it separate in case you do want to, you know, burn it on or anything you want to do, or if there's a lot of shaping to be done. But I usually put it on beforehand, so that's just faster. If you want to place your shoe on it, straighten it out, hold the tip up a little bit, because once you get it on there, it sticks pretty good. And if you twist it, it's hard to. I mean, you can get it off and redo it, but it's a little harder to do. So once you do that, you set your foot down, and you want to hammer your clips down tight, flush. You know, people are like, well, you need a gap behind there. You'd be surprised that when you pressurize the blister, it gets behind there. So just go ahead and hammer them down all the way tight. Then you have a blister pack. And you take the blister. I typically I have these prepped too before I get down there. Actually, I don't. I have my apprentice do it, but it sounds better if I say I do it. But that's what it's there for, right? Actually, the new ones have like a pull tab. These are just our demo stuff. They have a pull tab at the top, makes it real easy to peel your double-sided tape off.
That's the way everything is today, isn't it? I can't even get a bag of chips open all
We're trying to make it simpler. The adhesive tape, these things we made a lot easier. They were like this, and they were pretty difficult to get off. So when you place your blister on there, you usually go to the ground and just come up just a little bit, a little smidge there. And when you place it on there, like these can't be trimmed to, but they can be placed. They can be trimmed, you know, if you got an odd shaped foot or real small, because we got to make a blister that's going to fit 99% of the feet. You just want to make sure the top's in part. That we don't really worry about too much on the bottom, because if it bleeds to the bottom, so what? You just file it off. It's going to go on the ground. Make sure the top's good.
Whose idea was this? Was your idea?
My brother and I developed it in like '03, and we spent
03? That long ago?
Yeah. Well,
Where you been?
I'll tell you where we've been. So the question was how to get it on there. So we just tried to glue it straight. And well, even before that,
Pressurize is the secret there.
these blisters were the secret thing. We mess around with putting on Kevlar patches. We had to cut out. I don't know if you guys ever cut that stuff, but it's a real mother. We had to use like soldering irons and burn it out. And that did work, but it was time consuming. It took forever. And then we kind of put it on the shelf for a while because it was not fun. I mean, it took forever, and you know, time is money. So you place your second blister on. I'm gonna need a hand here. So when you run your tip, you want to definitely purge it and get, you know, make sure you're getting your mixture right. So charge your tip. That ain't good. Make sure it's coming out the way you want it. You place your tip in there. And once it hits the center here, you're full. You can do that one. Once it fills in the center and the bottom, you're done. So we do recommend after this that you definitely wrap it again. Just in case the horse jumps over, jumps on it and stuff. We have had horses run backwards and stuff. That adhesive tape holds pretty good, but you know, until this is set up, you don't want it to, you know, go crazy. So we usually run, I would definitely use the 5-inch tape, or the wrap, I should say, not the 3. That way it covers up the whole blister. And then what we'll do, after you wrap it a couple times, we wrap it like this. Just get your heel down tight. And then you just set it and wait. You know, and depending on your weather and your glue, you set up times like 4 to 6 or something on the fast set. Is what I recommend you use because you don't want to stand there. But while you're waiting, you have you can be shooting your back feet or whatever. And what it's going to allow is it allows if you guys have direct glue, when you hold the foot, it's in the most contracted position, and that is, you know, probably your worst spot. And once you glue that shoe on there, it's trapped. So your hoof mechanism is not going to function properly, and everything works off of that, like your all your blood pumping, and you know, if you're limiting that, you're definitely going to limit the health of your foot. So, and then about 6-8 months ago, we started working on our steel. And if you guys ever tried to direct glue steel, it's not happening, man.
When you're taking hot fit out, would that would even make it better, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we recommend, you know, if you want, when you hot fit, it's going to give you a good, even seal, which is even better for the product.
Yeah.
You know, because if you leave gaps and stuff in play in there, that's going to work on where it's in here. So we do recommend that. You can drill and tap it. So anyway, we worked on, like we talked about, the hot and cold roll. You are not going to get that glue. I mean, it'll stay for a little bit, but not, you know, for a while.
So heat that in the forge isn't going to ruin the weld.
Right. It's not going to ruin the weld, and with this is a stainless.
Oh.
Now, if you do red heat it, don't quench it. You wait till it gets like a black heat, and then you don't need to cool it off. It can get brittle if you do it that way. And we don't recommend you burn the clips in, because that's a lot of burn. That's a big area. So what you do is you'll. These are aluminum. Yeah. Don't have to. You lose your temper, man. That'll be working with spaghetti. Man, we've had them on. I don't recommend this, but we've had, like, you know, my buddy's wife's got ponies and stuff. That'll last when you get shot with their own horse. So we've had them on 10 weeks. But I don't recommend that. You know, the normal shooting cycle is going to be good. We just had, I don't know if you guys have heard of Bob Smith. He runs the Pacific Coast Horse Shooting School, and we send like demos and stuff to the schools for having students put on. So they had a horse next door, and he said, I'm telling you, this paddock was swamp. And he said we had him on there 6 weeks, and no problem. And he's like, I get to be honest with you, you know, I was a little skeptical. I thought maybe, and those are extreme conditions, and no problem. I do recommend that you guys, you definitely box the safety heels. Don't give them a reason to step on it and tear it off. But if you got a good, you know, horse that acts well and the rider's competent and stuff's not going to stand on itself, you can fit it as full as you know you're comfortable with. But stuff's almost set up. We did have to, like when we were first developing it, we monkeyed around with where to fit the clips, you know. And if you fit them too far back, especially with aluminum, because I typically work on just race horses, as time goes on, those lateral cartilage are going to work that weld, man, it's going to break. I mean, like every time. So we decided, we'll move them, you know, much forward. And then when by that, you know, you're kind of, that pivot point, you're going to work that weld again, and it's not going to hold on as well. So we took apart some cadaver feet and just studied kind of generally where the lateral cartilages start and the coffin bone ends, and that's kind of the spot we picked because we want the hoof mechanism to function freely. And then of course the benefit is there's no nails. But usually we have another leg here set up. You should have got my hoof knife. I'm a lot handier with it. Once it sets up, cures. Oh, that's another benefit too. Is these are just well, sticking to the cellophane here, but once you get it on the horse's hoof, it definitely it doesn't stick like that. But it's perforated, so then you'll just tear this away, and if you have any splash or some of this doesn't come off, you can just hit it with your rasp. I use a Dremel, but you can cut this off with your knife. You get a better seal on a dry horse's hoof. And all the preparation that you guys normally do for glue on, whether you can hit it with a torch or you're going to get a better seal, your glue adhesion. This part stays on. And this is going to give you the true 24-hour cure time, and it just protects it from the elements and stuff like that. It's a funny story how we ended up doing this, because we were using like foam cutouts you guys know how with anything, it's a process, man. I mean, figuring stuff, better ways to do it. We had a foam cutout, and then you would mix your glue and then paste it in there, and then take the cutout off, and you'd have that, whatever, like a trapezoid there. So what we were having is people were filing the profile too thin, and then it would break, you know, because. So we developed these blisters, and we were developing them, and what happened was we couldn't get them off. And we were spraying them with stuff, and we couldn't get the blister. Then we decided, you know, what if we just leave it on there? And it ended up being, because these things are made out of the same thing Spectre is made out of. So Kevlar is like, you know, it's a bulletproof plastic that they make. What if we just left it on there? And then that's how we ended up coming up with the idea just to leave it on there, and it ended up even better. It's even stronger. And yeah, it was a fortuitous accident, I guess you could say. So, any questions?
Yeah.
Trying to think of there's a lot of videos on YouTube, like tips and tricks and stuff. I'm sure I've forgotten some things, and honestly, there's you know, there's going to be a learning curve with anything you try, but really, guys, man, it's as easy as it looks. I mean, if you do your prep work right, I mean, you know, if you're just good at competent at trimming horses, you could probably put these on. Like I said, the key is
when it comes time to take them off.
there you go. There's a question. So what you'll do is you'll file through the profile.
Oh, in the metal?
Not through the metal, just through the profile of the glue. And once you hit your clip, you'll reach up and grab it like you're grabbing a high nail. I wish I had a video. It's all on the tips and tricks. And you grab it like you're grabbing a high nail with your pull-offs. Pop it down, and once you get the top, you can just pry it, come down. And then, like I said, with the aluminum, you can just go ahead and break it off because you're not resetting those. With the steel, you pry it loose, you know, get both sides loose, and it should come right off. Because you don't, you know, you're not gonna break the weld on the.
Reset this. You can't reset. You can reset the steel.
Yeah, we actually have one for our
Yeah,
demonstration.
clean everything off.
This glue will actually burn right off. It's a petroleum base. Throw it in your forge, and it comes out as like a fine ash. And we actually, on our tips and tricks, or videos, we show the guy hitting it with a little gas torch. You know,
Who has his tips and tricks?
it's on YouTube.
Tips and tricks.
Just type in Hanton horseshoes. It'll come up as all. There's like I forget how many videos there are. But you heat them up, and it comes out, and it's like a fine powder. You dust it off. He shows you. You just hit it a few times with a wire brush, and it's clean. It's ready to go. I will say this: if you guys are going to burn them on, you know, you get a little char in there. Hit it with a wire brush first, and even on the bottom of the foot, if you want to dust it with your rasp or something, that tape will stick better and hold better. So, like I said, clean, and once you know, if your prep's good, you're gonna have good results.